David and Sam are excursion engines. They travel the country pulling special trains. They were the only steam engines still working since diesels had taken over. This made them sad, but they always cheered up when crowds of people came to see them. One day, the shop foreman brought news for them. A railroad museum in California is having a celebration for steam engines, and they want both of you to come. You mean there are other steam engines still pulling trains? Of course. No one could ever get rid of steam for good. There are plenty of other engines that have survived, and you'll meet some of them soon. Sam and David were excited, especially when they were given new coats of paint and told they would be carrying a special passenger. They wondered who it might be, but the foreman said, "Wait and see." Finally, it was time for them to depart. They went to collect their train, and were surprised to finally meet their passenger. It was Hubert, traveling on a flat car. He was very happy to see them again, and the two big engines were thrilled he was coming with them. They coupled up and set off. It was a long way to California, but the engines didn't mind. When they finally reached the railroad museum, they were given a big welcome, not just by people, but also by the other steam engines. They whistled their greetings. Sam and David thought one of the whistles sounded familiar. Just then, a small engine with 6 small wheels puffed forward. "Andrew!" they shouted in surprise. "You're here too?" "After retiring, I was brought here, and they restored me to pull special trains for the museum. I've heard about your excursions too," he told them. That's when David remembered. "Andrew, we brought someone else who want to see you." So Andrew went to find them, and was overjoyed when he finally reunited with Hubert. They all talked long into the night, and the next day they were lined up for people to see them. It was a truly spectacular celebration. There were lots of engines, and they all shared stories with each other. But soon the celebration ended, and it was time for them all to leave. Andrew whistled goodbye to Sam, David, and Hubert, promising he'd be there when they next came to visit. On their way home, they began to wonder how many other steam engines were still around, even if they hadn't been able to come to the celebration. "I know where Marilyn and Sarah are," said Sam. "Ed and my sister Hannah were both put on display," added David, "but I don't know where. I wonder if I'll ever get to see them again." Meanwhile, far away, Ed the very big engine was wondering the same thing. He had other steam engines to talk to, but wished he could see David and all his other friends again. As it turns out, one day, he would get his chance.